What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Probably shouldn't be as super hyped as I am, really. I forgot to take the pictures down as well, by the way, just in case that stresses anyone out. Look, there you go. Some nice pictures in the background to have a look at. But anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We do have something to talk about. Oh, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I got it wrong. I'm going to give you a quick sneak peek. Look at this. Oh, no. What the hell is that? What the hell is that? Is that a CME gap? Oh, CME gap. Anyway, Dave, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Matt, want to talk about it? Don't you worry about it. We're going to get into all of what is going on in the market. Reality is, we should be getting ready for possibly the biggest day in the cryptocurrency market tomorrow. Federal Reserve, China deals, more earnings, etc. We had a relatively solid day out there in the market. So what the hell's happened? Why have all of a sudden over the last, couple of hours, we've seen this kind of massive capitulation in the market? To be, I'll be all over TikTok as GC at Caffeine, you absolute legend. Love you, man. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. Why the dump? Rob and Sarah, or Rob, I've got you covered, all right? I've got you covered. Now, we are going to speculate with a relative facts stroke assumptions to a degree, but we're going to talk about what it is. Why do I think the market just dumped? And what, therefore, this could look like going into tomorrow. For those asking, by the way, the CME gap currently sitting at around 111,170 with the upside on the CME gap at 113,455. So no, we haven't hit the CME gap. Do you have to fully close it? Maybe not. We've got to the CME gap, I guess. So maybe I was wrong all along. Maybe I've been talking nonsense. Who the hell knows? We'll get into it. All right, we've got quite a lot to talk about. Some really interesting charts you guys need to see. And don't forget, we also need to fill in our bingo card for tomorrow as well for Jerome Powell. So GC, thank you, man. It's like I just spoke to you there. If you do, and as always, never expected, but if you want to support the channel, grab hold of some of the new spooky gifts. Apparently it helps the channel out, boosts us up a little bit. Again, you don't have to. I appreciate just a little tap on the screen, locking a couple of likes. That'll be great. But as always, thank you so much for the support. You guys are amazing. I appreciate it. So with that being said, I'm not going to go through the list and say hello to a few people. Let's get into what's going on. Let's get into it. Oh, you guys are crushing it. Thank you so much, everybody. Look at that. GC. Love it, man. Let's get into it. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about the big elephant in the room, the freaking CME gap. Oh, man, I didn't think I would be talking about this tonight. I definitely didn't. I didn't think it was going to come bite me back in the ass. Turns out it has. All right. So we'll talk about what this is. And look, I guess if you're brand new to the channel, maybe you're coming here because you're like, holy shit, this is meant to be like a really bullish moment in the market. It's a pivotal moment. And what's happened? Like the crypto market is dumping. I've been keeping a close eye on the market. It's been really comfortable. All of a sudden, we boom down into the CME gap. Now, I just want to I guess, dead quick, jump ahead a little bit and give you what I believe is happening right now. And I actually posted on X what my opinion of this was, by the way. I'm going to show you it. I'm going to share this with you because I think it's important, right? I think it's important. This is the tweet I put out here. I said, I'm calling bullshit on this current dump. Join me live on YouTube to talk all about it in 50 minutes. Okay, that's my opinion of what is happening right now. I am calling bullshit on this move, all right? I'm calling bullshit. And I'm going to tell you a little bit why I'm calling bullshit. That doesn't mean that I am like super high risk. Oh my God, there's a light there. High risk, crazy leverage, long on the market, right? I'm not. There's still a potential. We'll talk about a couple of those over the course of the next couple of, probably next hour and a bit. But I have important charts you guys definitely need to see. So make sure you tap on the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. As always, we really appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoy or get any value out of this content, again, please consider subscribing and following. I would absolutely appreciate it. Also, if you do want to get into our Discord, it's totally free, by the way, link in the bio, also in the description. We do have a premium Discord where we have trade setups. I'll be doing a full review in terms of what I expect tomorrow from the Federal Reserve. And we also have a new section, if you guys have seen it, channel members. We now also have a Learn to Trade where I've got 2 bespoke, brand spanking new PDFs that's going to walk you through all the indicators that people use in trading, as well as trading strategies that you can use. That, ladies and gentlemen, is totally free for you guys to take a look at as well. I'm not saying it's a Bible to how to trade, just something that we're going to start building out in there as well. So check those out. If you want to do that, grab a channel membership, head down, click the join button. Also, you can click the subscribe button here as well on TikTok. Good. Okay. TikTok, do you want to see the screen? You probably want to see the screen. I'm conscious it is a little bit weird when you want to see it. But anyway, so Bitcoin has been having a pretty decent run. This is on the 15-minute chart, by the way, just to kind of give you a sort of view as to where we are. But Bitcoin's been holding up pretty well over the course of the last sort of couple of days. This just takes us back to the weekend, by the way. So this was the Sunday pump. Everyone was going, oh, it's a fake pump out. We're going to kind of get wrecked, blah, 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 which is why I thought was important. We've then kind of had a bit of a range until now. Now, again, just to be clear, there is nothing at all that I'm aware of. Some of you guys may say something different, but I don't believe right now there is anything in there that is a reason for this market to push down right now, other than a couple of things. One, over leverageness in the market. So we talked about this the other day. We'll take a look at kind of where that sits, and we can look at it, sort of track back a little bit and look at it from this morning. And then equally, the potential of tomorrow, people are de-risking leverage, right? Which, you know, doesn't kind of, you know, feel like super crazy, but at the important part, it is where it is. And then you can sort of see just how the market then capitulates on the top of that. Altcoins getting smashed to pieces. ETH going under 4,000. Solana, even with a pretty bullish news with those ETFs going live, we see a massive capitulation. So this isn't just like a random sell-off on Bitcoin. This is a market-wide de-risking event. Now, you may say, well, why de-risk when we know that the Fed's going to cut and quantitative tightening is going to end and we're going to go super crazy bullish? It's just not as simple as that. And, you know, as many times as we've kind of walked through this market now, sometimes it ends up just coming back and twatting you in the face. So just for those that were curious, by the way, this is the CME gap. So what you can see here is the Sunday close. All right. We got that into the kind of then into the sort of open that we got on the back of that. So just kind of, you know, the Friday morning that we got, or the Friday sort of afternoon, and then the Sunday open. Again, you can sort of see how that plays out. So this is the CME gap that needs filling. This is where everyone kind of expects us to fill this gap. Now, what's important to reference here is that there has actually been some optimism. There has been some decent volume running into the markets as well. So although this market is a bit of a dumperino at the moment, the reality is that there are still buyers on the sideline and people coming into the market. Now, again, people are probably in a world where they're just going to go, okay, well, let's just sort of see and where what happens. We'll come back to the charts in a minute. You can kind of see here as well, by the way, this tracks movement of large amounts of BTC. $724 million transferred from Coinbase to an unknown wallet. You have Chainlink coming out as well, with some more BTC, etc., which generally speaking tells us that the market is going to see a push down because these are, you know, moving liquidity out of exchanges. Less liquidity means high volatility. You get the gist, right? I'm not saying Coinbase deliberately dumped the market, but this is what is on everyone's mind. This is the key bit that obviously we're looking for. Nvidia to the moon. Yeah, Nvidia is going crazy right now. Nearly 5 trillion today, which is pretty wild. But obviously, Fed Jerome Powell is going to be talking 2:30 Eastern Standard Time. I want to talk a little bit about a couple of key things, a couple of key charts in just a minute as well. What's going on, Vern? Good to see you. Don't forget, do tap the screen, lock in all the like buttons. Appreciate you guys supporting as always. Likewise on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Helps the channel, gets the old algorithm moving. Do you think tomorrow will be, well, let's talk about it. Let's get into some data. Let's try and analyze what's going on. But this is obviously a big moment, in my opinion, and I know that people clickbait titles and all the rest of it. I generally feel like this is the most important Federal Reserve meeting, the most important 24 hours of this entire cycle. If the Fed came in and said, we will cut 25 basis points. However, let's say Jerome Powell comes in hawkish. He says the labor market is risky. We've got steepening in the yield curve. Actually, there is a real nervousness on tariffs, like, oh, this could be pretty pants. Equally, you could come in super dovish. We're just a new norm, yada, yada, yada. We'll talk about a bit more of that. Have a think about what you want to put on the bingo card for tomorrow as well. So this is kind of what everyone's going on. So let's analyze this. Let's get into a little bit of data. Let's try and really strategize as to potentially what's going to come in the markets. I do want to just bring the price of BTC up. I want to just keep an eye on it while we're sort of chatting away, by the way, which we'll leave it on the hourly chart. I mean, we may even come down here, by the way, a wick down to the 200 EMA, which would be pretty fucking crazy given, you know, we were like up here earlier on in the day, just sitting pretty 115.5, feeling pretty optimistic of the market. Again, the reason I'm calling nonsense, by the way, is we had 2 attempts at this push down in the market. So you can see here, look, attempt number 1 failed, attempt number 2 failed. This is the 3rd attempt, in my opinion, to try and push this market down. It doesn't just happen like randomly. Not a chance, right? If we hit resistance at the 50% fib level, I mean, maybe. I think it's important just to keep an eye on what's going on. And you can see there's definitely buyers stepping in. But let's walk through a little bit of data. So what you can see on the screen here, and again, TikTok, if you want to see this, I can turn my phone around. It's a little bit awkward, but I do probably need to wonder if I can just stream this to somewhere else. Anyway, you can catch it on YouTube. But if you want to see it, I can do it. In fact, you guys need to see this. Let's just try our best and try and make it look something like. So what this chart is basically the previous FOMC meeting. So the FOMC approaching, the past 2 FOMC periods have been red for Bitcoin. So generally speaking, when we go into certain Federal Reserve meetings, we generally don't go in there bullish. We generally go in there a little bit bearish because people are a little bit like, what the hell's Jerome Powell going to say? How stable is the economy? Is the market any good? The last time it happened was coming out of September 2024 meeting, which was then preceded by 3 straight green FOMC periods and a new all-time high for Bitcoin. So you can see here, look, the previous time we went into the FOMC meeting in a bearish sentiment, i.e. Bitcoin's been in the red, we then saw a massive pump to the upside. Is this going to play out again? Potentially, we might get that. It is worth noting, however, that this is kind of where we go into the Federal Reserve meetings. And look, you generally go into them in terms of a concern, right? In my opinion, you generally go into it with an element of caution. I think that's probably where we're seeing that. Now, another interesting chart here, which is the UTXO band. Basically, this is where you've got the cycle top versus local tops, and more importantly, you've got altcoin positioned against Bitcoin. So you can see here on the chart, these are the 1 day and the 1 week realized capitalization for BTC, including BTC dominance. And actually, what it says here is that the market correction is minor, likely short-lived, with strong altcoin rally expected before the cycle ends. So this isn't specifically short-term, but it does sort of give us an idea as to where this market's going to go and potentially what this is going to sort of roll up like. So let's break down a little bit more details when it comes to the Federal Reserve and I guess what we can expect. BTC is dumping right now pretty aggressively, actually. Looks like we are going to retest that. In my opinion, by the way, just the fact that we are definitely seeing market makers taking advantage of it. If you're not sure, look at the liquidations right now. $127 million in long liquidations in the last hour, $429 million in the last 24 hours. They are getting rid of leverage. They are really flushing these bigger leverage plays out. Think about it. If Jerome Powell comes in dovish with a 25 basis points cut, says the market's in a new norm, like you could expect some pretty bullish movements on the market tomorrow. So again, we're going to keep a close eye on what's going on in the price of BTC. We'll sort of watch it. But I mean, we could wick down to this. Feels like it's probably going to head down there. I was actually going to put a short trade on earlier on, but I didn't bother. So 99.9% is currently where the Federal Reserve expectation is going to be for rate cuts. Pretty obvious. We know we're going to get them. I guess it's all on Jerome Powell. This is a slightly interesting one, though. We have eased off a little bit on the potential of a further double cut, which I've been talking about for a while now, and I still think this is in play as much as market sentiment doesn't feel like it. Where I think this could end up being is that you get a dovish Fed on the back of a 25 basis points cut, no mention of tariffs, no mention of stress, and probably no mention of the fact that they are nervous or concerned when it comes to the jobs market. Don't forget, you're going into there with Amazon laying, 30,000 people off. You've got UPS laying 14,000 people off. So there is a little bit that's macro for the jobs market that they could lean on. They could say, well, you know, we believe that the market's potentially nervous. Jobs are weakening, maybe due to extended tariffs, blah, 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 blah. That's where you sort of get into this kind of like, oh, shit, it might end up being a bit tasty. So, you know, we probably need to hold this range, 112. I think anything below that starts to get a little bit tasty. However, this was the break line. So you can see here that potentially we come down to retest 110, maybe a little bit lower, actually, probably over the course of the next couple of hours, 110.7. If you look at this on a more macro sentiment, you can actually see that right now we still hold the break, which I think is important. We're holding currently the 20-day EMA, so we could come down and retest this. You know, that wouldn't be like super mental to come back. Would be pretty tasty, though, ahead of, you know, tomorrow's announcement, but we'll see. Why do I feel bearish, Tim? I see so much good news, and yet doing the opposite is what my gut is telling me. Well, because half the time, it's what they want you to see versus, you know, I mean, look, you always got to go where you go. Remember, this is always about a game of taking money. If you don't take profits, the market's going to take it. But yeah, we'll be putting in some channel longs so everyone can track. Would be pretty cool. I mean, yeah, maybe we could do. BITUNIX, link in the description. Let's see what happens over the course of the stream. Maybe we'll do it towards the end of the stream, given potential volatility. I mean, if you still feel like we're going to push down a little bit further, so probably doesn't feel like the most sensible time to do it. But yeah, we'll see. Trading shop in the building. What's going on, buddy? Retest 109 if we can't hold 112. Yeah, I Yeah. I mean, I'm I'm sat here going, well, maybe actually, maybe. I mean, let's face it, you're probably way more accurate than I am. Rate cut is already priced in 100Ks next. Oh, well, the Rangers in the building. What's going on? I think the 25 is priced in to a degree. I don't think Powell's view is priced in though, and I think that's where the potential move. Remember, we always generally get that W pattern again going into it, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, good to see you, Trader Shop. Welcome in, buds. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Rate cut to this point is the cycle is bearish. Really, Star Dogs, you think? I'm not sure about it. Has the market changed its momentum from bull to bear? Look, I think it's important that what we see over the course of the next 24 hours is a potential catalyst for the market. You know, if we don't, then yeah, it might be pretty tasty. Might be pretty tasty, but again, we will have to wait and see what happens to that. By the way, don't forget, tap the like button. When is the meeting? 2:30 Eastern tomorrow. So yeah, I won't be covering it live, albeit, is that, no, it's, oh no, will we be live for it? We might actually be live for it. Oh, maybe I can go live for the Federal Reserve meeting. Maybe I can actually. What time will it be? 2:30 Eastern. Someone help me out. Oh, no. What time is it now? 5:30 Eastern. Oh, no, it's a bit earlier, isn't it? Ah, shit. I thought maybe I could go live for it. That would be pretty exciting, but I don't think I can. So, anyway, let's kind of walk through a little bit more. So, this kind of gives you a view. Now, I want to caveat a little bit of where we think they're going to go. Okay, that's kind of my opinion. 8:30. No, for UK, it's like, it's normally 6:30, so it'd be 5:30 now, I think, in the UK. Be 5:30. I am cautiously optimistic, I think is a fair statement. I've been saying this all week, by the way. Jerome Powell has to go dovish, I believe, right? Now, he could use some choice words. He could be, like, subtle in how he says he's still not 100% certain on the market, but I can't believe he comes in hawkish tomorrow, given the recent job market stuff we've got. The only thing you aren't getting is actual jobs data, which probably is what they need. But let's talk a little bit, again, about what are some of the things we can look at that may steer us in the right direction. I think it's fairly nailed on that 25 basis points is pretty much dialed in, okay? That's you know, you can more or less take that as for granted. Nothing's ever for granted and guaranteed in this space, but it's pretty obvious, I think, we're going to get 25 basis points. The debate, right? The debate is going to be, what does Jerome Powell say? Why is the market down suddenly? So you've got just a big liquidation hunt. There's no reason for it. Markets are pushing it down, clearing some leverage out, in my opinion, for tomorrow. I think it's going to be a bit scatty, this live stream, actually, because I feel like we need to just walk through people's concerns and sort of get to where people are a little bit nervous. But let's bring up the liquidation map that would have been from this morning. I don't know how often it updates, actually, but this will give us a view, and I guess is more importantly, just kind of lets people understand where the markets were. So this morning, you would have got way more leverage. So as you can see, look, this is kind of longs right now. So yeah, this must have been this morning. I don't think this updates. This doesn't update continually. Yeah, it does. I think this bottom one might do actually, but maybe anyway. So what you can see here is that I guess the price did. So lots of potential liquidations here to the downside, as people believe we were going to see way more upside momentum in the markets. Okay, CME gap has been filled. Yeah, we literally talked about that. As much as it pains me to discuss it, it's literally what we were talking about. So yeah, that big yellow box is the CME gap, as you can see there. Look. So yeah, I mean, that's right. It looks like it is. It looks like it is. You do have some extreme volatility, by the way. Look at this wick down here on the hourly to the 200 EMA. Pretty interesting. So again, what you can see here is way more leverage to the downside, in my opinion. Then these are flushing the longs out. People don't want to be over leveraged in what could be, right? What could be a pivotal moment in the crypto markets. And by the way, in the stock market, the other thing to think about is, we'll just jump really, really quickly. If this was a if this was a, if this is a deleveraging event, then you also would expect to see it on a number of different facets as well. The S&P 500 continuing to rally, which was at 6894. That is wild right now. NASDAQ down. Look, by the way, just my view here. The S&P 500 is rallying on the Magnificent Seven. Let's just call it as it is, right? Let's call it as it is. Remember, job cuts, albeit shit for, macro, great for profits. Let's just not mess around here. And actually, when you look at the general stock market view, which I can't remember what we look at. When you look at it, the Magnificent Seven are the ones that are driving the S&P 500. It's not just a macro full, shebang. You look at Nvidia today, up 4.5%. Think about that. That's a $4.6 trillion company at 4.5%. Like what? Microsoft at 2%. So, they're the big ones, aren't there? Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, all way into the 1, 2, 3, 4. Meta was the worst one, I think, at like 0.1 or something crazy. So the S&P 500 is driven by the Magnificent Seven. So you are seeing an element of deleverage, I think, a little bit over there as well, just to kind of give you some sort of sentiment as to where that is. Gold down, continually coming down as well, which again is kind of interesting. Gold is absolutely dumping its backside off. Again, could be good news for risk assets. Okay, so let's just keep the price of that while we walk through a couple more of these things on this data. So this kind of gives you out. So I know a couple of people were asking there on TikTok, just like why is the macro down? That should give you an idea as to sort of where we go. The question though is, how optimistic are we? Should we be bullish? Should we not be bullish? Is the market going to roll over? Is the market not going to roll over? Well, look at this. Bank reserves have fallen a further below $3 trillion. Now, what is this I'm talking about? Well, the reality is that this is something that basically bank assets that they've got, the bank reserve balances, gold, bonds, treasury yields, all the rest of it. And by the way, treasury yields, FYI, came down as well, right? So this is generally good news. This could be certainly, provoking a reaction into more risk on, which is exactly what we want to see, particularly when you go into this. So again, this also, if you think about it, we've been looking at the treasury, buying back $1 billion here, $1 billion there, $2 billion here, $2 billion there, buying back treasuries and bonds. Generally speaking, this indicates quantitative tightening is coming to an end, right? Generally speaking, if banks are dumping assets, then quantitative tightening is coming to the end. Why? Because they can then start leveraging debt, they can then start issuing money at cheaper costs, etc. So this should support the end of quantitative tightening. Now, what you want to get tomorrow a little bit is Jerome Powell going, we believe that our monetary policy is positioned to ease on restrictions or something like that. In fact, let's start to put some of this in. Let's say easing restrictions. I'll put QT ends. Okay. Let me know what you guys want to put in the, if you want to put stuff in the Federal Reserve bingo box, I'll share it in the Discord as well afterwards. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. So the end of quantitative tightening could be a good news, by the way. This absolutely could then support liquidity coming back to the markets, the Federal Reserve money printer, well, not going on as such just at the minute, but certainly stopping, okay? So they're not going to start, scooping back up all that. They're just going to kind of ease out, chill out, all that kind of stuff and wait for the markets or wait for the right moment to start pushing again. So this should give us some confidence that that's exactly what we're going to see, all right? Important to think about when we walk through this one. What else have you got coming on? This one, not this one. Where is it? This one, right? This is an interesting chart as well, which I thought was worthwhile. Retail investors. This is retail option volume over the course of the last 5 years, basically. So what you're seeing here is that actually an increased appetite from retail on options trading. So, when people say retail out in the market, they're not in the crypto market. They're in stock market. They're in the derivatives market. They're in the futures market. They're just not in the stock market, in the crypto market right now. But retail option volume hit a record $9 million. Purple tie, yeah. I mean, that always is. That's such a cop-out, though. You guys always... Purple tie. There we go. Purple tie. It's in. It's in. The Fed will expand its balance sheet at these highs. Well, the Fed's reducing the balance sheet. I still believe they're trying to get to that $800 billion, but they are reducing the balance sheet and moving more into kind of cash. Is it the right time to buy? I mean, you've got a little correction in the market right now. I mean, I can't tell you whether it's the right time to buy or not, but I mean, it's definitely a better time now than it was about 3 hours ago. That's all I'll say. They'll print after the market's crash. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, look, that's where you're going to go to, aren't you? Print money, expand debt, like try and pay off some of the US debt. This obviously then feeds into the next kind of big correction, recession fears, all that kind of stuff. But retail put volume has also reached an all-time high, 5 million contracts a day. That's a pretty big deal. So retail isn't in the crypto market, but it definitely is in the standard stock market as well. Worth thinking about. What's going on, Vern? So yeah, mentions lack of data. Yeah, I mean the shutdown is definitely a thing. I thought we'd get that back open this week. So So this kind of gives you a bit of a macro feel of where we are in the markets. This kind of should play out. For Federal Reserve, we know is probably going to cut tomorrow. Retail are definitely diving into the stock market, which I think is pretty bullish as well. Alt season index is so low. What's it about? It must be about like 28, something like that now. Man, thank you, Vern, for the 50 Go Populars. Appreciate it. Bullish on that, Vern. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. CME gap 92K, brother. Buckle up. No. CME gap is 111,500. 111,500, bruh. Certainly the one I'm looking at anyway. So yeah, get ready. Do you think the Fed announced they're stopping quantitative tightening? Yes. Well, I don't think he's specifically going to say we are ending quantitative tightening. I think what you'll get is that our monetary policy is able to ease or something like that. I think you get some sort of weird way about basically saying that they're going to stop quantitative tightening. What's going on, Fairground? So yeah, okay. So we know that the banks are reducing that. We also now know that, retail's definitely in the stock market. Let's talk about how this plays into the crypto market. Now, if you were to look at, this little bit of Dumperino right now, you kind of go, oh man, we all got rugged again, like before the Fed. I mean, look at that in the 12-hour. That's a pretty big wick. Lots of still room on this. So a couple of key things to think about when you get into the cryptocurrency market. The number of addresses holding more than 100 Bitcoin hit a new all-time high. Think about that. Think about how much money that is. Think about those wallets. Lots of people are like, oh, long-term holders. They've been selling. Well, yeah, they have. 100 Bitcoin is, it's not a small amount. Think about that. It's over $11 million right now. So, that's not. But do you think he mentions tariffs? I don't think he mentions tariffs, but we'll put it. China. I think he says tariffs, or do you think? I think he says China trade deal. Let's put that in there. So, the reality is that these are bigger players, not crazy big, but they're still pretty play. $11 million is not a small change, is it? To be honest. So, what it does tell us though is that those macro sentiments are continuing to accumulate. So, yeah, on a very short, narrow term basis, yeah, you're going to see some selling off, some profit taking. That's completely normal. But actually, the macro sentiment is that bigger accounts, and you could argue ETF volume and treasury companies are going to drive a lot of this. But yeah, my opinion is obviously these are playing out. Now, how does this play? Well, look at this. The BTC NASDAQ ratio is showing near perfect repeat of the 2020-2021 setup, which, again, if you've been around this channel for a little bit, you then sort of say, well, 2026 probably looks like the market cycle top, which then kind of shits on my bonfire of the market's going to be at all-time highs in 3 days' time. Man, not sure, but unless they cut 1% tomorrow, which the Fed literally says we're converting our balance sheet to Bitcoin. I mean, that would be pretty epic, wouldn't it? You probably get all-time highs then, but I'm not sure we're going to get that. But anyway, look at this. Once again, the move is forming within an October-March window. After months of massive rise in wedge, it feels primed for a breakout. Fractal holds liquidity could be shifting from equities to Bitcoin. Talked about that on my Bitcoin update video if you haven't seen it. Setting the stage for Bitcoin to outperform the NASDAQ through Q4 and into early 2026. One time, what's going on, buddy? I guess it's another dump day. Yeah, it looks like it. The only good news is at least we know we've got something to look forward to tomorrow. I think it's important to reference. So, if this fractal plays out, do we see the same thing? Remember, markets don't often repeat themselves, but they do generally rhyme. This could obviously give us a little bit more optimism going into tomorrow. Now, this while at the same time, by the way, we also have some pretty bullish news out there. Look at this. France, of all the countries in the world, looking to buy $48 billion in Bitcoin. All right, just a bit of small change. 2% of the entire Bitcoin supply. They want to grab hold of it. I aren't really sure where this narrative's come from. Crypto Watcher, thank you for the heart, mate. Appreciate it, my man. I'm not really sure it's come from, but anyway, their proposal acquisition would amount to around $48 billion, reflecting France's commitment to integrating cryptocurrency into its financial strategy. All right, the Bitcoin. Absolutely could be a thing right now. Absolutely could be a thing. Yeah, one time this cycle has been draining. It's been the most difficult testing cycle ever. And I've done 2017, 2021, and now this one. This is my third bull market cycle. And boy, this one has been pretty challenging. I 100% agree with you. But yeah, I mean, that could be good news, by the way. France may be coming in. Right, let's just take a quick look at liquidations. I'm curious. So you can see that it's slowing down a little bit, 58 milli. There was some pretty big ones. So we saw this in the shorts the other day. But look at this, 2.5 milli on the short rec, 1.6, 1.6, 1.8. So this kind of gives you, in my opinion, by the way, the other sentiment that we're definitely seeing some pretty big liquidation events out there as well. Has anyone got alerts for exchange that they will be closed or under maintenance on November 1st? I haven't. That doesn't mean that they won't, by the way. Bitcoin with 20x and 3027. Hope so. Hope so. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. 410, 156. So yeah, some shorts got wrecked actually. So people went super high leverage. This is literally FOMOers on a grand scale. Look at that. Someone longed Solana. Shorted Solana at 192.33. Must have been like a crazy leverage and got liquidated. Is the BTC CME gap filled at 111? 111,500 is where the CME gap generally is, I think. Yeah, about 111,200. That's the bottom end of where I believe the CME gap is on the recent move down that we saw on Sunday. Welcome, Nick, joining the Discord. Massive legend. Appreciate you. So, yeah, that's kind of where we get to, right? We'll keep an eye on this. So, what else happened today? Look at this. Solana. Massive launch, actually. Solana ETFs are live. H-bar had a decent run today. What's crazy about this one, by the way, look at this. $56 million worth of day one trading on Solana, and the price is down. Come on, what the markets? Price is down 3.5%. So, should have been one of the craziest thing in the market. Not, right? I like Solana as well. I'm pretty bullish on where Solana is going to go. But first US ETP of 100% direct exposure to spot Solana, maximizing Solana's 7% average staking reward. So, this officially changes the narrative in ETFs, all right? I think you could see ETFs for Ethereum, so I'm just going to tighten this up a little bit. What's the altcoin season index? I'll take a look at it in just a second. This opens up the doorway, by the way, for Ethereum ETFs and any staking ETFs that you get right now. So it's just a bit of a shame that it's come on a day. But again, you don't get these market push down just randomly, like randomly over the course of 2 hours. The market's just absolute ass falls out and we end up dumping back down. So yeah, 41, that's fine. I mean, some people are like totally losing their mind over this altcoin season index. Like 41's fine. Don't forget, we spent from February 2025 all the way through to probably the 10th of July. That's 5 months under 25. Like, that's pretty pants. So, you know, yeah, all right, maybe we're not back up here when altcoins are rallying back in September, early parts. But, you know, in my opinion, we still got the most. Does it have to hit the bottom? It doesn't have to hit the bottom, no. No, generally speaking, I mean, some people will tell you that it generally has to, but I don't believe so. I think what's important on BTC, by the way, it does look like we wicked to the 20-day EMA, which is around 112. It looks like we bounced off 112. Probably need to hold about 112,691, which is the 50-day EMA, which would give us a little bit more momentum to the upside. It's filling the gap at 112. It's all okay. Simon, thanks, man. I like the fact it says home dad next to your name. That's cool. Soul trolling XRP today over bridge currencies after Western Union stablecoin build. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty big news as well. I've never used Western Union, so I don't understand. I don't see how big that market is, but yeah, pretty good news. Anyway, pretty good news. And like we said, also positive news when we get this, you know, 56 milli is a good number to sort of be flowing into that market, by the way, in my opinion. So also don't forget Truth Social. This one for you. This is definitely one for you. Truth Social teaming up with Crypto.com to launch the world's first social media prediction price market. Let's get it. I'm down for it. I am freaking down for it. Which is good news as well. Which is good news. I thought I just got a DM coming through. 1 second. That I want to show on the stream. Has it come through? There it is. Got it. Got it. Right, let's just show this. Put this on during your stream. Let's see. It's a paper trade. Boom. From none other than the Trader Shop. Give him a follow. I don't know if he's still here, by the way. I don't know if he's still here, Hobbs, but Bitcoin versus the US dollar on Coinbase. There you go. Look, this is the 106. Retest 112,400 and then potential bounce off these key levels. So again, I don't know if this is a trade that Mr. Hobbs put in. True day. I think it maybe is. You trust. Hold on a minute. Do you use Crypto.com? No. Where would you put 10K for a few exits? I mean, you got to make your own decisions on that. But yeah, my opinion, by the way, of Crypto.com, and I've said this before, is their customer service is terrible, and that's why I don't like it. You trust when the crypto guy in charge is the main person manipulating the market. I mean, that is true. Do you still believe in the 4-year cycle? Less so than before. But yeah. I don't know if Hobbs is still here. It'd be good if he was. But yeah, anyway, send me this. This is kind of what he must have put on in terms of a potential trade. Has he gone long or not? I can't work it out. I can't work out if this is a long trade. I'm assuming not. I'm assuming this is the entry here. 1 113,912. I'm assuming this is probably the entry that's come down. So, you know, maybe get the bounce. Where are we sitting right now? 112. So we held 112,700. Thereabouts. Do you think the market makers are waiting for the Clarity Act in November? No, I think they're waiting for the Federal Reserve meeting tomorrow. You'll definitely get like super crazy volatility. Every single time we get an FOMC meeting, the volatility is wild. And in fact, we could probably see this. We could look at, let's just see if we can bring up previous Fed meetings. 4-year cycle is dead, although halving will still impact. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's, here we go. Right. So let's have a look at some of the previous movement. So we got FOMC meeting was January. So January the 28th. Hobbs, just give us a bit of a view. I did bring your, I did bring it up. I don't know what I've done with it though. I've lost it. Here, just give us a quick couple of sentences. I'll read it out as to what it is. But I'm assuming this is a short trade that's been taken with that potential reversal coming at the bottom. That's a long, and the entry is 112.5. Oh, okay, you went long here. Fine. With a true day 113.912. I'm not sure what that means. Remember, I'm still an amateur when it comes to TA, especially when it comes to trading anyway. What do you think of Ondo? I'm pretty bullish on Ondo. Just need that tokenized market to get its arse in gear. Or the treasury market, by the way. Which could be pretty bullish news. Right, I was just going to show dead quick. While Hobbs gives us a little bit of a view as to what that trade is. I'll leave it up on the screen so you guys can look at it. January the 28th. Okay, perfect. I have it. Oh, man, it's like I just knew what I was looking for. So January the 28th, which was... okay, so that was a Tuesday. Oh, right, I'm just going to set this up. Hopefully, Hobbs is going to give us a bit of a view. Nope, it's a long target in 115.090. Let's get it, bear. I love that. Okay, I'm going to show you guys just a little something here. So this was... there, look. That's what I want to do. Oh, man, that's super annoying that it doesn't let me do that on the daily. Anyway, right. So that's the first one there. When was the next one? We got March 18th and 19th. Okay, let me have a look what that one is. March, here we go. And then I'm going to show you guys March 18th. Oh, this is getting pretty interesting. Where do you see this, boys and girls? March 8th. Oh, shit, I didn't mean to do that. March 18th, 19th. There we go. Fine. And then let's do the May. And then if the May is the same, I'm just going to come and tell you guys what it is. So May. All right. May's annoying. Oh, come on, May. May did it wrong. Let's put that one in there. May. And then the June 17th one. June. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. So... I feel like I should just finish this off now. Wait a sec. July 29th is there. All right. Yeah, you guys are going to love this, by the way. I can officially give you a view. August. Right, September the 16th and 17th. Where was that one? September 19th. All right, so that. Okay, so here we go. Right, strap in, everybody. These green boxes are all the FOMC meetings from this year, right? From 2025. Okay, I know you guys can't see it. I'm just going to walk it through. But what we can see is that on every FOMC, with the exception of 2, and we'll show you them, we have actually seen the market dump into FOMC. So back here, look, January 28th was the FOMC meeting. We dumped into it, albeit we did wick back up, but we dumped into the FOMC meeting. Can I go to the 12-hour chart? And that'd be even better. January 28th. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, here we go. Look, oh, it's June. Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, here, look. Here. So, again, we dump into the FOMC. FOMC meeting comes in here. Pretty interesting, right? Pretty interesting. Let's move on. We then get to this one, which was the 18th and 19th. So, again, what you can see here is that we dump into the FOMC meeting. All right? Pretty interesting. Let's go to the next one. We dump into FOMC. This came in on Tuesday the 6th. This one was a just dumperino. So the first 4 of the year, we dumped into the FOMC meeting. Now, this one played out a bit different. We actually didn't get the dump in at the end of July. So July was the 29th and the 30th. So the 30th was, oh, we did jump into that. Oh my God, we did actually jump into that. I thought it was different. Maybe on the 12-hour, maybe the daily is a bit weird. The August one was opposite. So August was 16th, which we pumped into a dump on the August 16th, which We then rallied the day after. And then the more recent one, the September. Oh, is that September? Yeah, sorry, that's the September one. So we can kind of say, generally speaking, and look, this isn't the way you kind of trade or the way that you would set everything up, but generally speaking, we dump into FOMC. Why? Markets de-risk. And, you know, you could argue maybe that's what we're seeing right now. Maybe that is exactly what we're seeing right now. De-risking of leverage. People are a bit like, let's see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what the close is, in my opinion. You're going to send me an invite to the Discord and I'll teach you a few things. Okay, I can literally... Oh, it's like on the screen. There, look at that. Tim Shea. Is that the newest link, Tim? Let me just double check that that's actually the newest link. And yeah, I think it is. All right, so I think you can get in there. If you get in there, then I'll hit you up with a message. For sure. So bullish on Ondo, that's up. So yeah. Give some airtime into the anti-tax movement. This is one reason we're abandoning banks, right? The anti-tax movement. What do you mean? I can't get in the Discord with the link for some reason. Oh, let me send you it. Oh, there you are. There you are. You're in. I see you. Welcome in, bro. Let me make sure that you are. There you go. Bosh. Verified. Yeah, I don't really mean by the anti-tax thing. Do you mean the US tax, the UK tax thing, or I'm not sure. Anyway, let me know what you think, and we'll have a look at it for sure. Okay, so we'll keep an eye on what's going on with here. I guess where do we get to as an overall sentiment? The reality is that, all right, nice, love it, love it. There you are. Bullish. I got you, bro. I got you. Yeah, so the long target in 111, the blue box is support on the 1 hour. A true day is the midnight price. Okay, there you go. That's Hobbs' chart. Giving you a view. Giving you a view. Which is good news. So yeah. But yeah, let me know what you think of the tax thing. I'm not 100% certain. Obviously, I have an opinion on the UK thing. We'll see kind of how that all plays out, to be honest. But yeah, I think Powell will be going to. Well, there is a rumor that the Powell will be replaced by the end of this year. We'll have to see. Will 25 basis points dump the market as it's priced in? I don't think it dumps the market. I just don't think you know. So you've got two things to think about into the market as well, by the way, which is you could argue that some people will expect the market to go wild, which again is probably why we're sort of pushing the market down, because people are going to be like, oh, it's got a rally to the upside. Then you end up getting a dump because people sell because they're like, well, everyone told me it was going to go to the moon. It fucking hell hasn't. And equally, just people are just over optimistic about what they're going to get. And sometimes it just ends up rugging people and people don't like it. And that is unfortunately where we get to. But do you think we should cash out this year or next year? Rudy, you got to do the right thing for you. Where do I think the market's going to be? More and more, it looks like it probably is going to play out into 2026. I do believe tomorrow's the big event is tomorrow. You got to wait and see what happens tomorrow, in my opinion. My view is, though, by the way, take profits as the markets go up, especially if you got in early, right? They're the things to do. So if you were buying Solana, like many people here on the channel, you know, every night I was coming live going, freaking buy Solana, it's $8. Hopefully this is going to rally way bigger than it is. Then, you know, we're at $200. Why would you just not sell a little bit? Take a little bit off the table. Now, if you're like me, who just has it all locked away and is earning 7.5%, you're kind of a bit like, well, let's see what happens. But there's nothing wrong with taking money off the table. Boeing's earnings are tomorrow. What do I think they're going to do? It was shit last time, wasn't it? It was rubbish last time, I think. So yeah, I'm not totally sure, if I'm honest. I think it was last time. I think it was crap last time. What are they expecting? So median price target 256, down 258. BA shares up 26 year to date. The imply a 4.7 swing for shares either direction by Friday. Tradelet's highest stocks average at 3.3. So people think it's going to come in all right. People think it's going to come in all right. Aerospace company expected to post an EPS loss of 5.15 million on revenue of 21.97 billion, which would be a potential share loss, but an increase in revenue. I don't know how the hell it works. Maybe they've had some manufacturing problems. Hey, did we just got on anything I missed from 40 minutes ago? Market dumped. Potentially back to 113 now. May have filled a bit of a CME gap. Hobbs is in the Discord. That's about as good as it gets, I think. That's about as good as it gets. Bullish on that. Hobbs, I'm going to give you, are you still here? Yeah. I'm going to give you access really quickly, just because I want you to have a look at something. In the trade, you'll see it. So we have another tier in the Discord, which is like it's like a premium service where people pay to get in it. But I'm just going to give you access to it because I'm just going to have a look in the trade signals group. I want you just to kind of, that's what I put out. So go and have a look in the trade signal. You should have access to it now because I'm just giving you it, which is kind of where I've been posting kind of market setups, my thoughts and my opinions, as well as sort of macro data that goes in. Go and have a look at it, see what you think, and then I'll message you. I got some shit to take care of the minute I finish the live, but I'll message you and see what you think. It'd just be good for you to get a view as to where my head has gone to and maybe my thoughts as to kind of how I walk through some of the market stuff. But have a look at it. But don't think you're staying, bro. You got to pay for that stuff. I'm kidding. 99% down. Zcash turning around. Man, Zcash is wild. I mean, if anything was going to dump today, Zcash would have been the one I would have called. Down 6.97. Still like insane that that's even rallied that much this year. I mean, think about it. It's pretty wild. The bigger story is they're going to take most of the cocoa out of the chocolate bars. I saw that. Someone told me that Cadbury's have been doing that. That Cadbury's have been changing. I mean, it's totally different narrative to walking through what's going on in the live stream. But yeah. BULLRUN's over, dude. Steve. No, Steve. No. I won't. I won't accept it. I won't accept it. What's the fee for the Discord? You know, spot. You just become a channel member here. It's like $8 a month. Like literally, it's like, yeah, just become a channel member on YouTube and you get access to it. It's like, I think it's like $8 maybe. I can't remember. I can't remember exactly the price of it, but that's it. That's it. You also get, well, you get everything there. I tell you what, I'd be curious to get your view on the learn to trade section as well. Anything that you think's valuable that you wouldn't mind sharing, feel free to put it in there as well. That'd be awesome. Although I don't think you can. I think I've got to do it. But anyway, have a look at it. No, Steve. Oh, Steve. Not the way. Penguins are officially not classed as chocolate anymore. Really? Are they a biscuit? Holy shit. Where are we going with this market, by the way? We're talking about penguins, not cryptocurrency. Bitcoin back above 113. Keep talking about penguins. Keep talking about penguins. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Steve. Get away, Steve. No one listen to Steve. No, I'm only kidding. It's always good to get perspective, Steve. Now, what is also good to get perspective on, Aerodrome Finance, by the way, up 4.5%. So screw the Bitcoin maxes. It's all about Aerodrome Finance. I'm going to take that 22% APR as well, baby. I'm loving life right now. I'm loving life right now. Yeah, I hope you're wrong as well, Steve. I'm not going to lie. I hope you're so wrong that you suddenly are so wrong you come out the other side and you then become super bullish. That's my view. That's my view. Okay, good. Right, we've got about 20, 25 minutes left of the stream. If you guys want to talk about any coins, get a bit of a view on it. Ah, what a legend. Thank you so much. Hobbs in the house. Baby joining the memberships. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. If you want to join a very established trader in the market, by the way, then hit up that channel membership. Maybe he's going to post some absolute alpha. I think you can post in the trade signals group, unless you're Curtis, that starts randomly talking about complete nonsense in the trade signals group. Just starts talking about complete shit while I'm trying to post stuff in there. But yeah, feel free to drop I think you guys can post in the trade signals. You can post in the alpha calls, etc., etc. So yeah, feel free. But yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. 100% appreciate it. They're taking chocolates out of the Quality Street. No way, bro. Don't affect the Quality Street. I mean, no one buys Quality Street. Anyway, it's all about. Okay. Given that, oh, nice. Yeah, do so, mate. That'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I think Jesse was doing something there as well, but yeah, that'd be cool. Vibing it right there. Vibing it. Love to see it, bro. Welcome in. I absolutely value it. 100%. Okay. So, given the fact that we are where we are, given the fact that we do need to fill the bingo card in for tomorrow, by the way, everybody. So, we currently don't have a lot on it. That's fucking bright. We do need to fill the bingo card. Can I change the background? Oh, I can. I can change the background to that. Oh, no, that's not going to work, is it? No. Okay, let's leave it at that. Or maybe we go to... Should we put a slight greenish tint on it? There we go. There we go. Okay, so... where are you putting that? Oh, you put it in general. Okay, fine. Channel. So if you guys want to put anything in the bingo card, which is basically where do we think Jerome Powell's going to talk about? What do we think he's going to say? Let me know in the chat. We can do it. Magic just finished a banana cocoa moonshine at 60% no tax talk. What does that even mean? Chocolate Easter eggs are next. No. Is the market that boring tonight? We've chatted about chocolates. Yeah, it just seems to have gone off track, by the way. We're going to bring it back on track now. We're bringing it back on track. Absolutely 100% back on track. Okay. What else has been going on the market? H-bar. Now, we talked about H-bar the other day, actually. Still slightly bearish, given the move in the pattern. However, the W pattern playing out pretty interestingly as well. And even the ETF move. Are we going to see H-bar push back up? If Solana, Litecoin, I mean, I'm surprised no Litecoin Maxes have come in and be like, oh, you massive chopper. You massive chopper. We can take a look at that, Tim, for sure. Let me bring it up. Did you send me the contract address for that? Yeah, click the little button down here. Where is it? There, look. This shares out the stream. If you could, that would be super bullish. Did we look at it yesterday, Tim? Is it like, it's probably gone absolutely like wolf-part mental, hasn't it? It's up 12%. Okay, so it's not super crazy, but it's doing all right. When someone send me some crumpets in the mail, get out of here. Alvin, I'll bring them over when I come over there for sure. I'll definitely bring them over. So yeah, where are you at? You're at 14.05 right now, up 11%. Bullish or bearish? BTC to 200k. Bitcoin, B-Jan in the building. What's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate the 10. As always, very much welcome. XRP just went down about 4%. What are your thoughts? I have 7k XRP at 267. Am I cooked? Are you trading or are you spot holding? Lana says, do you think the bottom is in for now? I mean, what are we doing? Back over 113, right? Yeah, market's kind of rallying a little bit. Not crazy, but I mean, look, a little bit. Again, I said this right at the very start of the stream that I called this complete nonsense. I'll reiterate my point, by the way, which was my official statement was I'm calling bullshit on this current dump. I mean, only 85 people looked at it. Sometimes I hate X, by the way. I still have absolutely no idea how to try and get engagement on this frigging platform. But anyway, that was my view. And I think it's probably playing out pretty much as we think. But H-bar up 6% right now. XRP's 260. It's only down 1%. And don't forget, some pretty big things coming for XRP, in my opinion. To the moon. There is some pretty big things with XRP, in my opinion, coming around the corner. Now, I actually have got a video coming out later on that's going to talk about, and by the way, these aren't price predictions. I'm not going to be like, oh, XRP is going to $1,000. No. I am going to talk about how supply and the supply squeeze is going to come in, and potentially then that could affect the price. But if you've seen recently, like loads of people are getting like, is it, what's he called? My Financial Friend, removed for 7 days, XRP video, I think, or something like, yeah, YouTube's gone wild recently and keeps like just banning people. I'll make $100 side bet that Jerome doesn't say Obama, Clinton, or blame any previous administration for the current speech. I mean, I do not want to take that bet because I think you're probably right. I mean, we can put it on the bingo card that he doesn't talk about. I'll put OB and CL. Okay, I think we know what that means. I would like to know your thoughts. Do you think that XRP can go up? Yes. Yes, XRP is my second biggest holding. I haven't sold any. I am absolutely very much dialed into what I think is a bullish move. If you truly believe that the best of the bull market is yet to come, then I absolutely therefore believe that you're going to get some upside momentum in all of altcoins, right? But we do need to see the markets go up. And how does it happen? Think about it. H-bar's rallied 6% on an ETF. A Solana ETF's just done $51 million in its first 24 hours of trading. What the fuck is an XRP ETF going to do? Think about that. I think it'll do double, maybe even triple that. Just my thoughts. Nadar says BTC 200k, maybe bullish like I could. I want it to say so. Yeah. The important thing is, by the way, don't get blinded by like crazy price target. Like, oh, everyone's telling me Bitcoin's going to like $1 million. Go take profits on the way up. BTC drops 500 or so, as Powell says. Good afternoon. Yes, I want that in there. 500 drop after first word. Okay. We know what that means. It's so true. What is the bullish max? Or where do I think the top? I've always said like 155 to 165, 170. I've been in that place. Now, equally, I have always said if we go to 2026, you've got to sort of say, well, the expectation would be that it's probably going to be higher. I think a couple of key things have to come in. We probably need to see it play out a little bit more favorably when the markets go sort of batshit mental, which if you got 25 basis points, dovish Fed, expectation of a cut, economy booming. Don't forget, you're going to get in probably a week's time, potentially revenue surplus from tariffs. Is that going to be a new good thing? They need to get the government back. That's the big thing right now. It's 2:30 Eastern, Alvin. When XRP ETF, speculation is this week. Whether that's true or not, I'm not sure. The reason the Solana, Litecoin, and HBAR ones got done was a wording error, I believe. But you'll see. I just want a 0.9 Jasmine. I'm good. Yeah, so do we all. Matt says, smash the like, chaps. Yeah, hit the like button, by the way. Would be appreciative of that. Only 48 likes on the stream. You know what to do. Give it a little thumbs up. Makes you feel better as well, by the way. I don't know if you've ever tried this. If you feel a bit under the weather, maybe you're a little bit like, oh man, I just feel a bit bearish on this market push down. If you tap the like button, it makes you feel way better. Makes you feel way better. Just my opinion. What do you think? What happened to the market? Have you done a 50 base point? So I don't think he does 50 basis. We can put it in there. I'm down for it, but I don't think he does. 50 BPS cut. The market is a liquidity flush, in my opinion. I'm not an economist. I am not an expert in this field. Just my opinion, because there's no other reason for the market to push down like it is. And when you look on a macro, let's do the 15-minute here on Bitcoin. You can see the market tried to push down twice before. Here was the first one where they tried to capitulate the market. Then they failed. Then they tried again. And the bulls stepped in. We bought back up. People are excited. People think we've got optimism coming in the market yet again for tomorrow. They did, however, wear the bulls out. And then this is what happened. Man, come on, TikTok. Sort your life out. There we go. That happened. So they did definitely try and wick the market down twice before. And then we sort of got to that. Doesn't mean, though, that, remember, Asia have been strong buyers of the market over the last 2 days. You know, we could see this sort of push back up. You know, I mean, if we can get to 114, that'd be great. If we get to green, it's only 0.9. We have definitely seen late night purchasing when it comes to it. Look at, look at last night, for example. This was 6 a.m. in the morning. If you wanted to look at these later nights, these were early hours of the morning. So we rallied up into that move. So Reform says, is alt season over? I don't think so, but I think it's currently on a pause. Let's call it that. Let's call it that. Again, we need to see how this market plays out right now. But, you know, traders feel a little bit more optimistic. I think we definitely could be in that place here. Paul talks about the labor market. Yeah, I think that's probably a good one. Labor market. Should we say slowing? I think it's probably a good idea. Paul talks about the lack of data. Yeah, we've got lack of data in there. By the way, if you're just joining the channel, this is the bingo card for the Powell FOMC tomorrow. What your thoughts are, drop it in there. And GC, thanks again, man. Appreciate the GGs coming in. Be bullish on that. Let me know what you guys think, and we will add it into the bingo card. Right. Why does the SEC always seem to delay everything XRP? Well, I mean, that's an interesting one, isn't it? It's an interesting theory. Content creators hope you'll be able to set up a decentralized wallet and connect to Web3. Don't do it, Michelle. Don't do it. I'm watching. One time, are you watching as well? Don't do it, Michelle. Don't do it. I'm watching you. I'm watching you. Don't do it, Michelle. Don't do it. Don't be that person that comes in and like, oh, have you managed to connect your wallet? Hey, DM me. No. No, Michelle. Don't do it. I'm watching you. Powell yells at the reporters that they are... Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That would be hilarious. Where are you from? CNN? Fake news. Get the hell out of here. What will Powell do? My view, 25 basis points cut. Dovish Powell avoids restrictive conversations on the labor market. That's my view. That's my view. So I'm going to put in here 25 BPS cut. And I'm going to say he's going to avoid restrictive jobs talk. That's what I'm going to say for that. That's what I'm going to say for that. Which token is good? I mean, who knows? You got to research it. Got to get in the trenches. Got to check out rebrabbit.com. That's probably worth it as well. But yeah, get in the trenches or join the stream. It depends what you're looking for. You're looking at like some 100x meme coin. Good luck. If you're looking for like which cryptocurrency is probably not a bad shout to look at, you know, there's some great coins out there, definitely. Bingo card entry, Powell hints on how the economy is and how the labour market truly... Do you want me to use that exact words? Good afternoon. My colleagues and I at the Federal Reserve today want to just stress how completely fucked the economy. I'd love that if he came out and said that. I'd absolutely love that. It would be so good. It would be so good. So, inflation expectations remain anchored. Always. Inflation. How am I going to do this? I'll just put inflation anchored. We know what that means, yeah? We all know what that means. Exactly like that. That would be so good. That would be so good. The labour market is officially fucked. What do you think about Web3 and XRP? I mean, Michelle, I'm pretty bullish. It seems that I talk about it every single day here on the channel. I stream live on YouTube and I'm an investor. I've been here since 2017. I'm pretty bullish on it. I don't get into the whole like craziness of some Web3, but I mean, in terms of, macro, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Bitcoin down, Zebek up. Yeah, see, it's a playbook older than the dawn of time. If the market dumps, go long on Zebek. If the market pumps, go short on Zebek. Dead easy. Like, I've made about $8 million on that trade so far. He turns up in a Trump mask. That would be insane as well. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. As long as they're right. I mean, in fairness, they've played out pretty well for us. I'm not going to lie. Whether people choose to trade them. But yeah, they've played out pretty favorable. Yeah, do it, man. Yeah, 100%. When you get a second as well, give your view on the trade strategy and trade indicators PDFs. They're under the Learn to Trade section. I'm curious about your thoughts on that. It's not something I've written, by the way. It's someone I know that's written them. But yeah, I'd be curious. Lance, thank you for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Pal says not enough data to review due to the shutdown. Yeah, have we got government shutdown? We've got... no. Government shutdown. He'll get asked that by reporters. Definitely. I think they'll talk about the 10-2 yield curve because that'll be a debate about recession. So let's talk about the 10-year and the 2-year treasuries. So we'll put that in there because I think he'll get asked about that. What do they believe, or where do they believe the steepening of the 10-year and the 2-year treasury? What does he mean for the markets or something like that? Maybe this bull run would be top 50 only, then pump. I mean, maybe. Powell gets asked about the dissent of some of the commissioners. So let's do member consensus, yeah? So it's a good point, actually. Consensus. Has Stephen Mirren put anything out? I do follow him on X, but I don't know if he's put anything out there. Because don't forget, this will be his second vote. We know he'll in fact, let's put that on there. I'm going to put... Steve M goes 50 BPS. I mean, he could even go 75, which would be pretty insane, but let's see if he's posted anything. Mirren. Is it 1R? Why does Stephen Mulhern come up rather than Stephen Mirren? There he is. I am following him. Why the hell is that not coming up? Oh, I haven't got notification done. Okay, he hasn't put anything in there, by the way. Nothing at all. But don't forget, when he actually did an interview, he was pretty sure that, the Fed should go 50. 2% inflation. Yeah, well, they got to get to that. They are over that, though, by the way. They are over that. But yeah, we can do that. Powell gets asked about... Okay, so they said that. In a surprise move, Powell goes full inverted. Kramer goes bullish. Kramer's bullish on Nvidia and something else, isn't he? What do you think about XRP's current situation? Yeah, look, I'm okay with it. It's playing out as it has done. They've got lots of stuff going in the background. My view, by the way, if you haven't watched my two recent XRP videos, you should definitely go and watch them, right? Just my opinion. And the reason why I tell you that is I talked about, today was very much about ETFs, how that could sort of play out, and more importantly, what that could look like. And then the other one, where I talk about the new upgrade that's come on XRPL. You need to go have a look at this one, okay? So it's called Switch. The bank's just flipped on XRP, right? It talks about XLS56, which is the NFT upgrade specifically to XRPL, and how freaking insane that upgrade is. So go and, go and watch that video. And go and watch this one as well, because it's only got 923 views. So I'd appreciate that. If you could, that'd be great. That'd be great. All right, you massive set of choppers. And but while you're there, by the way, have a look at some other content. Highly recommend it. Definitely worthwhile. Super bullish indeed. Good. Pal turns into a pumpkin costume. Yeah, I mean, you know, it could be wild. Do you think the market will dump after Powell speaks? I mean, it normally does. It normally does, all right? But it's very short-lived. If he comes in dovish, 25 basis points, you're probably going to get a decent move on the market. Generally speaking, anyway. XRP not even started yet. Fairgrounds bullish, you see. What else do we think Powell's going to get tomorrow? Do we think notebook or laptop? Notebook. I'm going notebook. Let's go notebook. Comes out with a notebook. What about who would be the first? Where do they normally go for the first question? Y on Y. What does that mean? Running. What does that say? Running grain. ICP analysis. I've talked about ICP a couple of times before. Not a fan, unfortunately. It got way hyped in the bear market, and yeah, it's like $3 something right now. So yeah, not a huge fan. What time does he speak tomorrow? I think it'll be 5:30, Kiko, in the evening. I think it's normally 6:30. So I think it's 5:30. I think. What's 2:30 Eastern? 2:30 p.m. 6:30. Oh, is it? Oh, okay, 6:30. Sorry, 6:30. XRP Sol. XRP is, you know, where it is. Solana, yeah, I mean, Sol should have had a way bigger move today than it has. Obviously, given that those ETFs have listed. I'm not quite sure why Solana did. Probably broader market push down. Hints of further rate cut. Yeah. Hints at cut in December, which I think he'll get. The debate will be whether he goes double cut in December. That could be pretty bullish. Paul smokes a cigar. What videotape? What the hell are you talking about? You got like he isn't going to come in a frigging pumpkin costume. He comes out and goes, "Good afternoon, trick or treat," and everyone goes, "Treat." Well, we're going to cut the rates by 1%. Fucking send it. Oh god! In an alternate universe where that is like a thing that could happen, as opposed to the real fucking world where he's going to come in a purple tie, his suit, sort his glasses out, and then talk about the fact that he's going to screw us on the jobs. Anyway, trick, we're not. Yeah, imagine that. Yeah, everyone goes treat, and he's like, nope, trick. Screw you guys. We're staying at 4 to 4.25. Oh my god, where has this stream ended up? Man, it's in the gutter right now. We'll have to see what the data says. Yeah, and have we got data driven? I thought we put data driven in. Lack of data we put in. So let's say watch the data. I think that's a good shout. Let's say watch the data. Pal steals the reporter's candy. Yeah. Data dependent. Yeah, we got that. I will do that. Data dependent. Right, 1, 2. We need to get rid of that free one in the middle. That's not free. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 5 more. 5 more. And then don't forget, tune in tomorrow night because we need to make sure what we got. Make sure you're listening as well. You got to make sure you're listening to what's going on. I've got to get out of my house. I can't get it out of my house. Do we think he talks about do we think I think he gets asked about the S&P 500. So let's say stocks overheated. I think he might get asked about that. He'll get asked about what his opinion of the stock market is. I think the question might be something like, given the stock market's at all-time highs, should we be cutting rates? Which he'll then open up the question as to what he should do about jobs. Yeah, that's my view. That's my view. Not answering Jerome, masterclass in avoiding. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The fact that he just doesn't. Oh, we need to get about J Powell replacement. A reporter's definitely going to be asked about that. He's definitely going to get asked about that. I'll give a shout out to Sweet Caroline. Maybe asked about stablecoins. Do you think? I mean, stablecoins, really? Stablecoins feels like a bit out there. 2 more. He'll talk about gold. Yes, gold market. Probably a good shout. Probably a good shout, actually. I would generally love it if he came out and was like, hey, Sweet Caroline, baby, steals someone's candy, drops the mic, opens his notebook and starts talking about the market. Well, that's going to happen. He'll cough at least 50 times. Okay. Let's do cough first. Yeah? Let's do that. So he coughs, good afternoon. That's the thing. Right, there we go. That is it. There is the bingo card. Inflation anchored, easing restriction, QTNs, stocks overheated. It doesn't talk about Obama and Clinton. Don't know why that'd be a thing anyway. Stablecoins, data dependent. Did I spell dependent wrong? I did. 25 bips. Notebook, purple tie, member consensus, lack of data. Hints that the cut in December is going to cough first. Watch the data. China trade deal. Gold. $500 drop after the first word, which could be a cough. Oh, good afternoon. Government shutdown, 10-2 yield curve, avoid restrictive things. All of that is there. Okay, good. Let's generate that one. Here we go, baby. Let me put this in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, by the way, grab hold of that link. And, oh, shit. I muted it again. Why do I keep muting the bloody general? Okay. Where should I put it in? Off topic. I'll put it in the, I'm just going to post it in the off topic bit, by the way. If you guys want to grab hold of it, there you go. That is the official bingo card. So we come back and look at that tomorrow. Just to get a bit of a view. Let me just, yeah, that kind of works. Untitled bingo card. All right, cool. Cool. So yeah, you guys can grab hold of that. Mike, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in, my man. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, Bitcoin back above 113. So, you know, I guess that's kind of an okay move. We'll see where the market does play us out. CME gap got hit. Debate whether it got, you know, wiped out. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't care. I mean, I don't know. Generally speaking, CME gaps normally get done, but we'll see. We'll see. Don't forget as well, by the way, we have a double show tomorrow night. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I'm going to be with none other than Monsieur Vern. We're going to be talking about all the latest things going on in the markets. Oh, look at that. Femex have just messaged me. Global exchange partner. Would you be open to a quick chat this week to explore it? Oh, Femex. Let's get bullish. But yeah, look out for it, in my opinion. Crypto's still dumping. What's happening? No, it hasn't. We're holding 113. What's the best broker to use in the UK with good leverage for Forex? I've no idea about Forex, really. I mean, the only one I ever used when I was trading was, is it called MetaTrader or something? That's the only one I ever used. So I can't really give you a view on it, by the way. Just my view. See you later, Fairground. Hopefully we'll catch you tomorrow night. Don't miss it. It's going to be pretty bullish. Or at least we hope it's going to be bullish anyway. Fingers crossed we'll be joining tomorrow night and be like, oh, the market's going to the freaking moon. We'll see. We've got to get there, yeah. We've got to get there. Lots of stuff can overheat. Lots of stuff can go wrong. Consensus, by the way, is, I think, pretty much the same as what we've been talking about. So nothing new. Particularly when it comes to the Federal Reserve, which is obviously coming in here. Look, so 4 from 4.25. Nothing else really coming in. Then obviously we go into core PCE the day after, which, I mean, the consensus is a little bit tasty in the week after. So we'll see. I'm ready to blast out of here. Let's get it, Beebs. I'm down as well. I'm 100% down as well. So anyway, that's kind of where we get to. There'll be lots to talk about, lots to discuss. And as always, you know we're going to be covering it every single day here on the channel. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Also, don't forget, drop us a follow here on TikTok. Would massively appreciate it. It does help out the channel. And yeah, just tries to keep things moving. That's what we're trying to do. If you enjoy this type of content, it's always worthwhile. Just turn that notification bell to all, especially if you're here on the YouTube as well. That massively helps out. And by the way, that's all you guys. Look, hold on. Which way is it? That way. These are all your comments, so you can type a comment and you can see yourself. What platform do you use for crypto? So I generally run through exchanges. You can find them BITUNIX, Mexi, Binance, anything you can get on from the UK. There's not many, by the way. We are still a little bit restrictive. So yeah. Oh, nice. There you go. Look, the Trader Shop's just put a BTC plan in the trade signals for the premium channel members. If you want to get that channel membership, by the way, simply click the join button Also, grab a subscription here on TikTok as well. So definitely check that out. Right. With that being said, everybody, thank you so much for the donos. Appreciate you as well, Hobbs, joining the channel. Massive support. And also bullish on what you've just put in the group, the trader group. So look, feel free to go and check that one out. By the way, we'll be back tomorrow, as always, 9 p.m. UK. That is 5:30 Eastern. No, it isn't. It's 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll be breaking down what's going on in the market. Jerome Powell talking, and something we never even discussed tonight, the China deal. All right. Selma, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Watch out. We could get that announcement, 10% tariffs on the US, 50% on China. Did you see the stuff coming out of Japan, by the way? Holy crap, that was pretty wild. $550 billion committed to the US. Big deal coming out of Asia as well. So a big day in the markets tomorrow for sure. We'll have you all dialed in. Don't forget, if you see some content, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, all of that good stuff. Until tomorrow, though, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. And Selma, it's been short, but I hope you join us tomorrow night. Take care, everybody. Catch you soon.